Must record. That was you, correct?
Yep, I just did that and now I'm trying to pause it and it looks different.
Okay, I'm making you co-host. Let me know if you get that.
Yeah, I do see co-host.
Great.
Okay, and I've paused the recording.
Right. And I'm going to switch to selfie view here and try to put on the camera mount. Okay. I'm going to lower the volume now so you will be incommunicado. Okay, Mary?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, you have all your pens and everything.
Adria, can you just stand here for a second? I want to see if you're lined up.
Am I lined up? Can you hear me?
I'm not seeing this. Okay.
I have more people.
Do you know if this is normal? So that's a view of us, and we're seeing her.
Yeah,
That's normal?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it is normal because when I talk to people like on FaceTime,
Okay.
yeah, I'm the small one.
All right. Mary, if you want to give me a nod, see Adria okay?
I can see Adria well.
Okay, good, thank you. All right, I'm going to guess that that's more or less okay.
Okay.
So
And
we're
where's
running.
the chat button when you need to do
I will
chat?
bring that up
Might
here.
be more.
Right there.
Okay.
Can you see there's one message in there?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah. Recording begun. Good morning, Leslie. Yep,
yes.
okay, we're good. All right, I'm going to sit fairly far forward here.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe I'll just stay up here the whole
Do you need help maneuvering the?
Yes, if you would just move it during Joy's concerns, that would be great.
All right, we'll get through this.
Thank you so much. Okay, and do you need Chris to?
He'll be a company. Yeah, right. Sings it first. Plays it first.
And you don't tell me who you are.
Yes.
And I will, when I and you saw that on the order of service.
Right, yeah.
That I pushed.
That's good. So they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, great. I'm good.
I thought maybe your wife would show.
She's up walks. Her thing is she loves walking in the deep woods. That's where she is. That's her.
That's her piece.
That's her piece.
Yeah, I thought maybe because to listen to you
She's
sing.
heard me so many times.
Do you sing in the house?
I'm always singing. I sing at night.
Really?
I'm always singing something. We did several pops, and I've been singing Billy Joel stuff. We did a medley of Billy Joel pieces from some of the pops. That was one of the things we did. It's just been in my mind the whole summer.
Oh, okay.
So music is always there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm going to figure out there's a wording on that too. I think it's kind of okay.
Yeah. So no, it's just so great watching people come in. You know, I mean, it really moves my heart because I see people come in and I know them. I mean, I'm intimately. The man who I've seen, but I don't know his name, is the one in the green shirt and all straight.
Yeah. I think about Billy Joel singing. Usual crowd shuffling. Here we have the usual crowd shuffling in.
Right. That one's Lori. She's a relatively new person who's
Trying to see where before vacation time, and maybe next week,
yeah, no, I wish I had publicized it better, but, you know, Sarah, I thought I sent her the order of service. I did, unfortunately. Walt had a copy. I have a copy too, but mine it looks like this. And I mean, I just couldn't do it. I'm in the middle of moving. Yeah.
Beth moved in, and she said, I never want to move again. You bury me here, I never want to move again.
That's what me and my upstairs neighbor were.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we wanted to say that. But, you know, when you don't own property, you don't own property. Even if you do own property, sometimes that's the catastrophe or the government takes it away. You know, really challenging. All righty. Hello, hello. I'm smiling, I'm seeing the people walking in and it's warming my heart. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of South County. I'm Adria Evans, your worship leader today, and I am so delighted, really so delighted to be here among old friends, new friends. UUCSC is a welcoming congregation and all are welcome. Our, I don't know, is it our motto, our vision statement, who we are? Welcoming, growing spiritually, loving and seeking justice. And I'll amplify that a little more later on. I want to take care of a few housekeeping tasks. Please silence or turn off cell phones and other electronics. And also, I would like to welcome, as well as the people here, the folks on Zoom, our very reliable and wonderful virtual usher, Mary Fulton, is here, and get to know her and enjoy our service as well. Will the virtual ushers who are here today introduce themselves, please?
The ushers that are here.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes, you are here, please stand, Okay, so we have Sky, Russell in the reddish shirt, Mary, Tony, and Val, and if any of you are new or seek more information, feel free to connect with them or with me. And there are also yellow cards in the gray hymnals, and feel free to turn those in with when we collect our offering in the offering plate. I'm going to have some announcements, but they're going to go toward the end of the service. Instead, I got a lot to say about our speaker today, Walt Galloway. So Walt Galloway is a scientist. He has a degree in chemistry from Oberlin and a degree in geochemistry from Brown. So, okay, a scientist, but really, I have to say Walt is a Renaissance man. In high school, he was he's always been a singer, had a band, and was an athlete, a great swimmer. And then he went off to Oberlin and learned science, and then he went off to the Peace Corps and spent time in Ethiopia. So you see broad talent. His working life was mostly through, maybe totally with the EPA. And I don't know, you can correct, but yes, that's how I read the resume anyway. And mostly in Narragansett, you see all these positions, so very East Coast. And then there were about 9 or 10 years in Las Vegas where, so, and my partner at the time, we visited he and his wife Holly there, and it was so interesting, all this ocean and all that desert and red rock. That's where the red rock is. And so this broad scientific background. Now, of course, I don't know Walt through science. No. Walt and I were a bunch of people who gathered starting in the 80s, and I guess I would call us sort of new age explorers, working with all kind of energy fields. And I was remembering that Walt and his wife Holly and I, we walked the hot coals together. Any of you remember fire walking? That we actually did all that stuff. And we've been interacting over the years in many ways. Of late, Walt has been a member of a men's group called Illuman, and when I see him and other friends, he often speaks of it. So I am just so delighted that he is going to come and share with us. And I think before I want to start, I just really want to thank all the men who made this service happen. Except for Mary as a virtual usher and me, we have Sky Kimball who pulled together technology, our soloist, Mac Richardson, and our accompanist, Chris Johnson, who are making this happen. Rev Denis came in today and set up the whole chapel and printed up the order of service. So I'm really pleased. It really warms my heart. We'll begin our service with the opening hymn in the gray hymnal, number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please feel free to stand, either spiritually or physically, to join in. are by Richard Rohr, Walt.
Thank you, Adria, and thank you for letting me do this. It's great. And hi to all of you out there, wherever you might be. This is the dedication to a book called Adam's Return by Richard Rohr, in which now almost over 20 years ago, he wrote up the basis for the Illuman that I will be talking about. Adama, the first human name, means of the earth. For all the sons of Adam, for those who are ashamed of being earth, for those who love being earth too much, for those who possess none of the earth, for those who possess too much of it, for those who need to know they are earth and try to flee to heaven out of shame, doubting the garden that they already have, abandoning the garden that they already are, I dedicate this map of return.
And just an aside, how the name Adam, and then Adam, you know, for that, the primal human, Adama, earth. This is in Hebrew, dam, the word dam is blood. So it's just a beautiful linguistic tie that just always cheers me. Rick, would you light our chalice as we move to the chalice lighting in our service? How many Ricks are here? I know, I put him on the spot. Have you even ever done this? Oh, okay. No, you just, see, here I am, making his life difficult. You take it for the little fault. This is what happens when life is extemporaneous. Our chalice lighting today comes from Sarah Ruth Wakoya Davis, opening to the light. We light this chalice with an open heart. We light this chalice with resolve. We light this chalice with tears still fresh on our cheeks. We light this chalice in hope, a tiny flame we nurture. We light this chalice with reverence for this place, for these people, for this time. We light this chalice with all our souls longing to be who we are, to be who we will be, to be who we will become, to be ourselves. We light this chalice in self-love, in giving love, in holy love. Our covenant is the statement of who we are as a congregation together. It is written on your order of service. Please rise in spirit and body for the covenant statement. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. It's always so interesting to me that we make the great, the unified covenant statement, and then we weave together our individual lives through our sharing of our joys and concerns. Folks are invited to come up briefly, share your name, and say what is on our hearts. We're not talking political announcements or anything like that, but the joys, the concerns that affect any of us. So please feel free to come. Once you say your name and speak, take a stone and put it in the water so we embody what's deep in our hearts with the elements in front of us. Look at that smile.
Hi, my name is Carrie Curto, and I am feeling very joyous this morning. It is my birthday, and my children they won the birthday game today. Two's made this incredible video where he had some of my family members have little testimonials to me and edited it together, and it was so sweet and thoughtful. And if they're downstairs and can hear this, thank you. And Beatrice took some of the sea glass that we found the other day and made this beautiful piece of artwork of me walking our dog. And so I just want to, it's not every day that our hearts are so incredibly full of the joys of motherhood, but today is definitely one of them. So this is for my amazing kids. And then we also made another ice cream cake, so you're welcome to join us for some of that afterwards.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kat Lockwood, and I have a joy to share. My sister, who is going through pancreatic cancer right now, and has been going through chemo since May, and was really going downhill. It was taking its toll on her, and she was getting very depressed, and had believed for a while that she was going to have to do it for the rest of her life, and that she was going to die. And we got a glimmer of hope. It is possibly operable now. And the joy is, we found that out a couple of weeks ago, but the joy is how it changed her. That little glimmer of hope has given her strength again, and she's dealing with the chemo so much better now. And we're hopeful for the future that she would have surgery and actually get to live. So that's my joy.
I'm Barbara, and for me, August has always meant canning tomatoes from my garden. As a child, I watched my grandmother can tomatoes in her very hot farmhouse kitchen, with the fruit trees or fruit flies buzzing around, and my mother canned tomatoes. So my joy is that last week I stopped by my daughter's house, and she was canning tomatoes in her own kitchen, with, the old food strainer and everything from her garden. So that's my great joy.
My name is Charlie Donnelly, and I have a joy and a sadness. My stepson Emmanuel finally got married last weekend, but my late wife Iris wasn't there to experience it.
I'm Chris Johnson, and I have a joy. Today is also my son-in-law's birthday, but we don't have an ice cream cake for him. My daughter and he and family just moved to a new place, so as a present I got him a gift card at Home Depot.
Thank you. Is there anyone who needs the microphone? We have the soul speaks.
This is a joy and gratitude for all of those who have kept our congregation services going this summer. In the old days, in the Legion Hall. You know, we had 3 maybe services all summer. It was a lot of work to do that. I'm just very grateful to all of you who know who you are, worship committee, and all the rest.
Oh, thank you. So we have to include the ushers. We have to include Sarah in the office. I've got to include Rev Denis, so even though he's not on today, he's on today. The building people have done their work. Forgetting anyone? The music. Say again? The music. Oh, music, thank you. Oh, yes. And these are the volunteers from our own congregation who have provided the music. It's been wonderful. We're going to cast a large stone for the suffering in the world. May it be eased. And a deep black stone for hope, the hope in darkness. And a final pebble for all the joys and concerns.
Adria, don't forget the chat.
You know what, before I do that, I have to see if there are joys and concerns in the chat. And hi, I'm Lori Bradway from Vermont, and I am joyfully buying a home in Rhode Island. Lori, I am looking forward to meeting you. Find me. And
That's it.
thank you. Okay, for all the unsaid joys and concerns. Thank you. So often, when we make our offering, someone has a very cute and clever joke. I'm in the middle of moving. I have no cute and clever jokes. The fact that I'm standing and talking to you is maybe my cute and clever joke. But I was thinking of 2 different things. One was, and this is sort of like the joke on me. Do you ever look at yourself and kind of look back in your life and see the progress you've made and kind of just appreciated it, kind of with a wry smile? So many of you don't know this, but probably are not surprised that when I became a feminist, it was a radical conversionary experience, 1969 and 1970. And in those days, we were just learning and discovering about the inequality of women. When I say we, I mean sort of academic, privileged, the white people in my reality. I mean, some people knew about the harshness of life under patriarchy more than I did. And I had such anger. What do you mean women can't have credit cards in their own name? What do you mean we can't do this? What do you mean that there's no rape in marriage? You know, just all of these things were coming at us as new awarenesses, and it's such anger. So I decided in 1970, I wish all the men would just die of a plague. So pre-COVID, I thought that was pretty predictive. And you know, and then I thought, well, not my brother, and not my father. And then the truth is, being Jewish, I really love cantorial music sung by men. And it's like, well, I guess there can't be a plague. Yeah, I like their voices too much. So I guess my joke is, you know, looking at putting on a service and also understanding I think deeply that although groups can be separatist, and tell me, lesbian separatism was alive and well in my world, but we could be separatists for a while. Really, the revolution that we need to make is a revolution of being together and loving. And I love it that my heart is not constricted in us and them, but that I feel open. So my joke is this service. Okay? Dear friends, to keep our congregation welcoming, growing spiritually, loving, and seeking justice, we also need financial support. Please, as we begin our offering, make a donation. Our music for the offertory is a special a cappella solo by Mac Richardson. It's the words for Amazing Grace for the first 3 stanzas. The 4th stanza Mac has adapted especially for this service. So please listen and enjoy.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that brought my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When men will share their hearts and minds, it puts their lives in a better place. Their bonds will form, build up and bind in love and amazing grace.
Speaking of generosity, or shall I say singing of generosity. Thank you everyone for your contributions. Oh, we left one out. We will use your gifts wisely and well. Please come up, Walt, for our reading for today.
Yes. This just said something to me.
It just said the recording is in process.
Hold on a second. This is saying your speaking language is not detected. Have to choose English.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. So I'm going to do some reading from this book I read the dedication to, Adam's Return, written in 2002 by Richard Rohr, Franciscan monk. And it was after he'd been doing the work that became Illuman for already close to 30 years. I'll be talking more about that a bit later. But here's the reading. In American society today, men have plenty of everything: money, sex, power, education, and many voices telling them how to be happy and successful. But to a diverse group of men, young and old, the question of what it means to be a man is still perplexing. Most men long for the support and nurture of other men to help me in the journey toward masculinity, maturity, and a deeper experience of the divine. Through the ages, many cultures have helped men by means of initiation rites and vision quests. Richard Rohr has spent decades learning about these practices so that he can help awaken men to their own masculinity, their deep spirituality, and their potential for leadership. He gives us the 5 essential truths of that training in language that is being used in men's retreat around the globe. Life is hard. You are not that important. Your life is not about you. You are not in control. You are going to die. Illuman intends to inspire a new generation of men to reassess what it means to be a man, to go through the initiations that every culture has required of its men, and to become leaders in the broader culture. Men are people, not gods, and they need to confront suffering, loss, and death before they can live in genuine wisdom and vision. One wonders in history if it would have taken a violent and oppressive forms if generations of men had continued to learn from these 5 lessons experientially. Life is hard. You're not that important. Your life is not about you. You are not in control. You are going to die. If a critical mass or a cultural elite of humankind had experienced this enduring wisdom, this ultimate reality therapy, it would have been a very different history. A dynamic core is all we need to keep humanity from its gravitational pull downward.
Please join us in singing hymn number 3.
Thank you, Adria. Illuman, or Illuman, both pronunciations work very well, is a movement of men helping men deepen in connection with ourselves, each other, and the needs of the world. It was founded by Father Richard Rohr to help men along their spiritual journey through rites of passage, small groups, retreats, online communities, and courses. It is a welcoming, non-denominational, interspiritual community where men can drop their armor, find belonging, and remember who they really are. We are men transforming men through a power greater than ourselves. We are seeking a life-changing spirituality. We are focused on inner work that makes a difference in the world. We are fed by the wisdom traditions of forgiveness and radical inclusivity. We recover traditional patterns of male initiation. We affirm a masculine path to healing that reveals the true and false selves and honors the path of descent. We do this through the power of nature, ritual, image, story, and counsel. The men's rites of passage experience is Illuman's signature event, created by Franciscan Richard Rohr and friends and offered in 9 countries for thousands and thousands of men. Richard Rohr began this over 40 years ago. The group that he had was called Males as Learners and Elders, that eventually became Illuman. It's an immersive experience that invites men into deeper self-awareness, soulful reflection, and connection with something greater than themselves. It's not a lecture or workshop. It's a rite of initiation into a fuller, freer way of living. This 5-day intensive helps men awaken to the adventure and mystery of their own masculinity, their deep spirituality, their place in the world, and the way of wisdom. There are no expectations. All that is required is that one come with a beginner's mind and the readiness of a young novice seeking wisdom. From beginning to end, we ask you to come as a participant, not merely an observer. MROP, of course, Men's Rite of Passage, as an acronym, MROP, includes ritual, teaching, silence, nature, prayer, and small group sharing. It's a carefully held container, a space where men are invited to let go of old patterns and open to a more authentic version of themselves. These practices aren't magic, but have stood the test of time in many traditions, helping men realize a full, intense, and well-grounded presence in the world. We have followed the readings and books of Richard Rohr for quite a few years. Adam's Return is one of those. Falling Upward, which is about the second half of life, is another one that we greatly appreciate. And there is, as well as the MROP, there is an EROP, Elders' Rite of Passage. I've done both of those. The piece, we keep mentioning nature. So a piece of this is, in fact, in the 5 days, 4 nights, a day in the wilderness, quote unquote. And both of my days in the wilderness, because both the MROP and the EROP have this, were days of rain, 24 hours of rain. The second time I was better prepared, but the umbrella just pushed the water down the back of my shirt into my pants. So that didn't work out as well as I had hoped. But we have a council. I'm going to talk about council in a minute. And from my men's rite of passage, which was in 2022, the 7 men in what is called the Jeremiah Council continue to meet on Zoom once a month. And it's a very safe, wonderful place to be able to say whatever comes up. Sometimes we use prompts, sometimes we just say what's on your mind and we go from there. While our work may be deeply healing, Illuman is not therapy. We offer a spiritual path grounded in ancient wisdom, ritual, and shared vulnerability. Our aim is not to fix, but to foster transformation through presence, connection, and inner work. We seek to form future generations of men who will restore these practices, building a world that celebrates the beauty of all beings. Initiation, like life itself, is not a spectator sport. This is not about mere religion. It's about deep spirituality. It's about age-old traditions that guide us into manhood and coming to trust that there is something much greater at work in our lives than we could ever imagine. And as Richard Rohr, now over 40 years ago, started looking around and seeing the lack of initiation in our culture and seeing it in many other cultures, did a lot of research on these initiations and developed the men's rites of passage. Now, I don't go into detail about what happens on each of those 5 days, because that kind of lets the cat out of the bag. But it's definitely a very strong spiritual experience. But it needs a follow-on. And the follow-on is what we call the journey of illumination. And it's a five-fold practice, informed by rich spiritual tradition also, that invites you to show up and pay attention to the presence of spirit in your life. Whatever spirit means to you, it's not a list of obligatory to-dos or shoulds or the method that will bring you salvation or enlightenment. Rather, these are simply practices and rhythms we have observed can be helpful in cultivating a spiritually healthy life. The 5 touchstones, as we call them, of the journey of illumination are centering. Show up and observe. We are men grounded in the power of the here and now. Each day we challenge ourselves to make contact with our true sources, so a mindful presence. Second, gathering. Show up to share and listen. We are men who listen deeply to each other's stories and regularly look for support and accountability with other committed brothers. Our primary practice is counsel, as in my case, the Jeremiah counsel. And a key piece of that is no crosstalk. We listen. 3, connecting. Show up and share life. We are men who choose to walk with one another shoulder to shoulder. Friendship, and we connect outside of counsel when it's appropriate. Releasing, show up and let go. We are men who let go of the ways that no longer serve us. Living in the present requires us to have the courage to release the past and remain open to new ways of being with self-reflection. And then serving, show up and act. We are men who honor the earth and serve the whole human community. We actively look for ways to positively impact our families, communities, and the world. Compassionate action. The journey of illumination is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Every person implements these practices in a manner that fits him. However, your journey circles, we call ongoing circles, journey circles, will hopefully encourage the development of regular communal rhythms that work all of these muscles and provide ongoing support to keep us on track. And so I've mentioned counsel a few times. This is the ongoing practice. They often start before one has gone to a rites of passage and then continue on forever, as far as I'm concerned. The way of counsel, as it's been developed by Illuman, is a communal contemplative practice affirming the importance of listening and speaking from the heart within a circle of men. And I should say at this point that Illuman, or Illuman, again, I love the choice of words. There are some very clever selections of words in this movement. Illuman is about 10 or 11 years old. It builds on the rites of passage that Richard Rohr did through his Center for Action and Contemplation in Albuquerque for many years, but it spun off into this independent organization, and it continues in that manner. Counsel creates a trusted community of close-knit men who can support one another on their lifelong journeys. In counsel, They share their wisdom, their experiences, learn to shift their center from being from their head into their heart space and body. The practice increases their capacity for vulnerability. They practice becoming a more loving, generative elder and good ancestor. A large part of our practice of counsel is telling our own stories. The list, nature, story, etc., is one of these. Hearing ourselves speak in the presence of others. It's not analytic. It's an opportunity to share our truths and sit with the truths of others in a way that minimizes critique. The absence of crosstalk and the mandate to listen with the heart are both intended to allow a brother to speak their truth without risk of criticism and have it accepted by the community. Through this practice, we often find a shared commonality of experience. It's not a course, an alternative to spiritual direction, a therapy session, a discussion group, a place to debate ideas, a place to get or give answers or advice. Instead, it's a place uncommon to the rest of life, where you are invited to put down your many identities and roles you play, reconnect to life itself, and sink deeper into your true self. Bring your pain, strength, power, weakness, glory, blessing, or whatever else it is that you are to address at this moment in life. It's a place to face life head on, as awake and honest to your reality as you dare. In counsel, we attempt to remain open to the mystery of the Spirit which arises within the wisdom and experience shared. We run out of words in the presence of something larger than ourselves. This necessarily widens the circle of men, extending our vision to a wider community to which we also have to listen. When we are touched, moved, and inspired within counsel, something new is created in us that anchors these primal teachings in the personal realm of direct experience. Thank you.